Where's my little thing to do my award winner? Is this it? Is it actually going this time? I think it's going this time. I think it's for real going this time. All right, welcome. Welcome back to another one of these weird, wonderful things that we do here. This is a watch party for a weird anniversary. And in fact, I'm 1 day late to this anniversary, in fact, because the 1998 hit film, hit-ish film, Can't Hardly Wait, was released on June 12th, 1998. So I think it's a 26-year anniversary, something along those lines. 26 years ago. There's the sports cucks jumping in. That's right. It's after 6. Nobody else is on that's in my world, so, might as well get this thing going. That's right. Hey, what's happening, cats? All right, we got some people in here. Yeah, what? Oh, goodness, there goes the mic. Boop, boop. Well, if you want to know what we're doing today, we are...
watching a movie.
That's right, we are watching a movie. One of these kind of nights already. Oh, God. That's why we do it live. There's no cough button here. So typically when there's a cough button, I could mute out or something like that. But I might just play some audio. Can we go right to Tavares? Tavares early? How's Tavares doing?
Tavares, right in the butt?
Give it to me, Tavares.
No.
No, I'm sorry, Tavares. No.
Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right. That is it, Tavares. It's not right in the butt. It's this is the best. So yeah, we're going to get right into Can't Hardly Wait here. I won't do too much of a preamble. So I think we do have a new movies intro here. Sorry if my audio's been a little bit weird, but let's go to the movies intro now. It's time for this. Yeah.
I'd like Sour Patch Kids.
Uh-huh.
And a jumbo dill pickle.
Yeah.
And some popcorn.
Aight.
A little butter, please.
All right. $28.50.
Thank you.
$28.50, a pretty solid deal. And I do encourage you to college. Wait a tick. Where is this happening? There is nowhere that this is happening. Why does it say 3:18 p.m.? I've got a weird old message from What's Up Strip Mall. I still quote this one. Okay, yeah, sorry. My weird times are all over the place. I'm just going to click comments randomly here. So this watch party is happening right here digitally. I'm going to start this movie in exactly 3 seconds. Counting down in 3, 2, 1. All right. We're rolling here. Okay, we're getting our music in. What production house did this one? It's the lady with the torch. Which lady holds the torch? Is that Touchstone? Columbia. Columbia holds the torch, lady. At the Fanzo pounding juice serum with skin. Get it, Robert. Pound the juice serum. I should be there too. I'm pounding margaritas from Gloria's right now. All right, so we've got... I forget everybody's in graduation outfits, so they open on hardcore 90s rock music. I don't know which exact track this is. Hold on. In scene, it should tell me. Open Road Song by Eve 6 opens the movie. Oh, Amanda's about to eat some condiments. Hell yeah. That may be... That lady was never paid. Eating condiments is a good idea. Mayonnaise, a solid condiment to eat. Okay, so over the intro, there's a lot of like little incidental dialogue, with people like talking back and forth. They're talking about Mike just broke up with or Amanda, sorry. Mike and Amanda broke up. Mike and Amanda broke up. All that kind of stuff. Okay. So yeah, they're setting up the party here over the opening credits. Easy way to do it. That's a fine way to get the exposition out. Anyway, 1998. Let's get back to some of the trivia. Film acting debut of actor Jason Segel. You probably know old Jason Segel from Forgetting Sarah Marshall's, like his big starring role, but he's definitely in Freaks and Geeks. That's the first time I kind of clocked who Jason Segel was. But Forgetting Sarah Marshall, fine performance. He's got a vampire opera there that's pretty outstanding. I've never considered doing a rock opera or anything along those lines. It seems pretty daunting. Anything musical seems, outside of like writing like pop songs. Pop songs I think I can understand. Dialogue-based music or like a rock opera thing, I don't know that I could hang with. It seems like there's too much dead time. Okay. Amanda Mosher says, the penis. And I appreciate that. Anytime Paul Corvino said the penis, that was great. And since we're talking about the penis, I don't know if ZB is still in here. ZB, the gentleman who said the penis on the radio was a man named Paul Corvino. Paul Corvino produced and directed and wrote a film in the early 2000s known as Shelter Island. And this Paul Corvino randomly, he was the reason How I Met Your Mother was great. I'll keep that up instead of the penis. So randomly, this guy Paul Corvino happened to be like a giant boss at iHeart when I worked there, kind of. And he's still there. He's now like the LA vice president of something or some chief of something, what have yous. Very important dude. Anyway, that guy made Shelter Island years ago, and I had no idea until like 3 months into when I was working with the dude or whatever. So yeah, that's the guy who said the penis. And me and that ZB guy who's in here, we had some songs in that dude's movie. Took me 3 months to realize, like, hey, Paul Corvino, I have some songs in a movie of yours from like 25 years ago. It was wild. Wasn't he eaten by an anaconda? Snakes Plus remote. Jason Segel might have been. Okay. Front end of this movie, it's a graduation. You can see down here, or maybe I don't have it on because I've got other stuff. So you can see Strip Mall Steve. I am a high school graduate, kinda. I did graduate from high school. I graduated early. There was no graduation ceremony. I graduated from a weird charter school known as Winfrey Academy. It was an academy, very official. And it was in Richardson, Texas. It is legitimately where the building for Lockwood Distilling is now. So when I was in high school, I would drive up to where Lockwood is, typically very inebriated. And I'm just being honest at this point. The reason I went to charter school was so that I could play tunes and stuff like that and hang out with people. And it was a 4-hour day school. So yeah, graduated early. So I didn't get the cool big graduation like they have here. All right, now we're doing backstory. We got Ethan Embry telling the story about a Pop-Tart. So the first time he ever met this girl, Amanda, portrayed by Jennifer Love Hewitt. Is she still ghost whispering, by the way? I have not looked up what Jennifer Love Hewitt's doing in a while, but she was definitely ghost whispering for a while. Okay, so Ethan Embry talking directly to the camera. Kind of a bit of a crutch. He's just doing oh man, Vitamin C, Friend Forever, the graduation song in 99. That thing hit so hard. Because like all my friends got to go do it. I kid you not, I'm ashamed to admit this. My graduation day was spent in court because I had been absent even from charter school. So if you were over 18 and you were going to charter school, then you were allowed to have as many absences as you want. But I was 17 as a senior, and so I had a bunch of absences, even at charter school. And so eventually they will tally those up and say, hey, you can't have 20 absences in a period. That is a legal truancy, which means we have to charge your parents with truancy charges. Because I skipped a lot, like a whole lot, but still graduated early. It's fine. So my very last day was actually spent in court because I graduated the day before, and then when they got to my case on the docket for truancy, it was essentially rendered null and void. Oh, God, sorry, I hit my mic there. It was essentially rendered just a dole or null, and they threw it out. Okay, we got Mike Dexter here. Who is that cast-in scene? Oh, gosh. Peter Facinelli. And he does some stuff. Jennifer Love is still out there chesting it up. Good stuff. Good for J. Love Hewitt. Peter Facinelli looks familiar as all get out. I know he's still out there doing stuff. Oh, that's right. He ended up in Twilight and stuff like that. Nurse Jackie. Man, he's got all kinds of stuff. Something called the Fuck It List. I don't know if that's an adult-themed VHS that I'm allowed to possess or not, but I'll check out the Fuck It List. All right, so yeah, there's 4 dudes in this scene here. We got Freddie Rodriguez, Sean Patrick Thomas, Patrick Facinelli, and Shannon Rowe. And this is basically like the 4 jocks. So good stereotypes and good archetypes for each of these characters that they portray here. They all look like they're damn near 30. I'll be honest with you there. Nurse Jackie was a pretty good show for a bit. Is that the one that had the woman from The Sopranos? What's her name? I apologize. I'm going to it now. Edie Falco. Yeah, she was in The Sopranos, right? She's been all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Sopranos. My favorite role of her was probably as Celeste Cunningham on 30 Rock. Oh, shit. We just got to Charlie Corsmo, William Lichter. So the nerd in Can't Hardly Wait. So sorry, let me set it up if you've never seen Can't Hardly Wait. Hopefully you have if you're watching this. If you haven't, I'm sorry. It's a story about a big party at the end of high school. The most popular girl in school has broken up with her boyfriend, or somebody broke up with her. I think he broke up with her because he wants to be alone for the summer and party it up, get single before he goes off to college. But there's a giant party. So now we cut to one of the nerds, played by Charlie Corsmo, who was the kid in Hook. So if you ever saw that Robin Williams film, Hook, it was a Steven Spielberg movie that did not do particularly well at the time. Julia Roberts portrayed Tinkerbell in that one. But Charlie Corsmo, also the kid in What About Bob, the kid in Hook. I wonder what he's doing now. What is Corsmo up to these days? Give me Charlie Corsmo's IMDb. Give it to me. Some people do a bunch of research beforehand. I kind of do it live during these because it's more fun. So yes, known for Hook, known for Can't Hardly Wait and What About Bob. Oh, I think he was like a creepy kid in Dick Tracy. There's a movie I haven't watched since. Yeah, Dick Tracy was released in 1990. I bet I have not watched Dick Tracy since 1992, maybe? I don't know what's going down with Dick Tracy. He wore a big yellow coat. I do remember that. And I think there was a guy with a flat top and a guy with a weird face. But no, Charlie Corsmo, after playing William Lichter right here as one of the three nerds in Can't Hardly Wait, then he was in Chained for Life in 2018 and A Different Man as Ron Belcher in 2024. Man, that's it? That's all he's done? 2 other roles since Can't Hardly Wait? Interesting. Well, good for Corsmo. A couple of the other nerds there, I don't recognize their names off the top of my head, but now we get Seth Green. Seth Green portraying Kenny Fisher. He is a white guy who I think is very identified with the hip-hop community, is all I will say. He might not be from the streets, as it were, but he is certainly talking with an affectation that would make it appear as if he was raised in the streets. I'll roll up on that shorty like, what's up, yo? And she'll be like, you don't know 20 different ways to make me call you Big Papa? Because I don't. So stuff like that. I'm just reading along with the captions here. I don't know that line off the top of my head. Oh, okay, so we see this guy, the redheaded guy who I believe plays the Shermanator in all of those American Pie films. What's that guy's name? Good Lord. I don't know that actor's name. Chris Owens, maybe? Chris Owens, yes, known from American Pie and The Mist and October Sky. Yeah. What a weird actor. I don't know what that guy's doing anymore. Either way. So it's 1998. We got Seth Green here. Seth Green known for all kinds of films. He's the finest and probably, I think he plays the best petulant son, kind of like a-hole, I'm smarter than you, but I'm also a petulant asshole in Austin Powers. The way he handles Dr. Evil is just so damn sharp. So sometimes he's telling Dr. Evil what an idiot he is for not just shooting Austin. Hey, I've got a gun. Let's shoot the guy right now. Stuff like that. Other times he's legitimately angry at Dr. Evil and engaged in full-on outbursts as if he's a 5-year-old. So I think he portrays the perfect balance there of petulant child and I'm smarter than you kind of arrogant prick. It's a tough little balance, honestly. My kids nail it. All right, so now we're hearing the song Mandy by Barry Manilow. Big deal in this movie. So the main character, Jennifer Love Hewitt, not main character, I would say the main love interest of our main character here, played by Ethan Embry, is named Amanda. So anytime the song Mandy comes on, for some reason, Ethan Embry portraying Preston Myers seems to think that it's a sign, some kind of cosmic universal sign that he's meant to be with Jennifer Love, huge ambitions. And so that'll be a running through line. The other woman in this is Lauren Ambrose. She has short red hair at the time. I know she's done other stuff. Yeah, she's in like 6 Feet Under and stuff. What else is Lauren Ambrose in? Where the Wild Things Are, Psycho Beach Party. Then we get the woman who's hosting the party. Who's the woman who hosts the party? What's that woman's name? Michelle Brookhurst from Dave in 2020. Oh, that's a show that KT told me to check out all the time with Lil Dicky. I have only caught 2 to 3 episodes of Dave. Let me know in the comments if I really need to be Daving it up. If it's a Dave-centric world and I need to catch up on Dave, please let me know. She was also in something called She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. All right, I'm going to need to spend 5 minutes on She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, because I like to imagine a raging hot attorney who starts as a normal human, but then, of course, turns into a rock figure and then just kicks the judge's ass. Like, I think you're overruled, Judge. And just rips the frickin' heart out. Man, I don't know what She-Hulk Attorney at Law is, but I'm going to check that out. All right, let's take a look. TV series from 2022 by Marvel, no doubt. Ribbit and Rip It. Oh, that's the name of... Sorry, Melissa Joan Hart just distracted me. Ribbit and Rip It. So I'd imagine that's something like a rabbit who takes a rip off a gravity bong or something like that. I don't know. All right, now we got Seth Green entering the party. So, Melissa Joan Hart is at the party. She portrays somebody who's super into yearbooks. I don't know if you all kept any of your yearbooks. I have some from my early years at Lake Highlands, junior high, and then the first few years of high school, because I stayed in high school until senior year, and then I went over to a charter school. But yearbooks are pretty awesome. It's fun to see the random stuff that people signed in your yearbook, I guess. I can't say that I go back to it frequently by any means, though. But this woman acts like it's the biggest deal in her life, old Melissa Joan Hart. Now, let's spend some time talking about Melissa Joan Hart, that vixen in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So when I was a kid, I'm like, man, that Sabrina's pretty attractive, but they're really not playing that up too much. I mean, yes, her and that Harvey guy have a relationship, of course, but they're not really leaning into the fact that Sabrina is kind of a smoke show. But I was still a little young. And then you get older, and you start reading about all the stories about how Melissa Joan Hart was out there partying it up. And you start seeing photos of her in the club scene, and you're like, God dang, why was I not in L.A. in the early 2000s, late 90s, mixing it up with Melissa Joan Hart, because it seems like she was down to go, and she was ready to party. So, she's not that anymore, but man, what a time to be alive. All right, so now they're making fun of a foreign exchange student, making him say, I am a sex machine, and he's wearing a USA t-shirt, and that's pretty badass. I like the costuming on the fact that if you're a foreign exchange student, you have to wear a shirt that says USA. That way people know you're not like an Eastern European terrorist or something like that. Like, you're not a diehard villain. You're all in on the USA. Okay, thank you for Brian Scott here. Yes, watch Dave. I saw 2 to 3 episodes. I need to go back. I'm bad about TV now, you'll find. You'll see me dig more into, movies like this from an older era, or new movies. I'll watch new movies when they come out. New TV, I am so bad about when it comes to narrative TV, and I used to be all into it, so I'm bad. Yeah, Melissa Joan Hart party with Britney in Paris. I know, and I didn't know at the time. That's the thing, and now I see all the photos, and I'm like, damn, Melissa Joan Hart was getting it. Like, she was in the club scene, and she's definitely the, like, soft 7 in that scene, at least. I mean, like, if you're rolling with Britney in Paris, Melissa Joan Hart is the soft 6, soft 7 that you're just like, hey, Melissa, what are you doing tonight? What do you want to do? You want to do some blow in the bathroom? And she seems like she would have been completely down with that. Completely down. Okay. Oh, man. Into her Aunt Caroline Ray. So, that's the other thing. I think... Okay. Now, hold on. Sorry, before I go back into Sabrina, we do get 6 Underground by the Sneaker Pimps here, What a badass track with the sample from a James Bond piece. I love that little Sneaker Pimps track. So that's the like entrance music that they give to Jennifer Love Hewitt when she enters. Amanda something. Amanda Beckett. Not a great last name, but realistic. Okay. Aunt Caroline Ray. Shish. Take me over to the Sabrina IMDb because all three of those women, that may be like a dream night scenario. Like my one hall pass ever is like, can I just hang out with the entire cast of Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Hell, even Harvey and the Cat can hang out if they want. But I'm really into those three ladies, and if you could make it when everybody's of age, maybe like Sabrina's in like her mid-20s or something like that, I think it would work out really well for all of them. Not because of me. I think because they would like a reunion. I think they'd like to get together, talk about the show and stuff like that. And then I would probably just hang out and ogle over them. But they would probably appreciate a fan being around. That's the thing. I would just be a fan. All right. So we got Melissa Joan Hart as Sabrina Spellman, Carolyn Ray as Hilda. Hilda's a pretty spicy name, too. You know chicks named Hilda get pretty freaky. And then Beth Broderick is Zelda. Zelda definitely looked like she was the uptight bee you wanted. What the hell else is Beth Broderick in? I feel like she should be in more. So she was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, something called Psycho Beach Party. Brad Pitt was in the last season of Dave, and he was awesome as usual. Oh, all right. I do like B. Pitt. Incredible actor, old B. Pitt. The Bonfire of the Vanities. Ah, yes. Another role for Beth Broderick, who played Zelda Spellman. Which one of them was hooking up with Penn? Because remember, like, Penn Jillette would randomly show up on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Also, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, huge presence for Martin Mull. Let me go back. I think he's got to be in here. Oh, there's Amanda crying. So we've got an early, is that Jamie Presley? Jamie Presley, who looks shockingly close to Margot Robbie. You'll get them confused. Some of the other girls in here are Jennifer Lyons, someone I definitely had a big thing for when I was like 13 years old, and I don't know that she's ever done anything else again. Let's see. She was in that 70s show in Malibu Dan the Family Man. What the hell is Malibu Dan the Family Man? I don't want to know. Nobody wants to know. Malibu Dan's a pretty fun name, though. It's like Crocodile Dundee. Malibu Dan. Oh, okay, they're telling, I think, Amanda that she has bigger boobs than Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, interesting that you mentioned Brad Pitt here. He's not even Brad in 12 Monkeys. So they're comparing Mike Dexter to Brad Pitt and Jennifer Love Hewitt to Gwyneth Paltrow, but saying that Jennifer Love Hewitt has much bigger boobs. That's them saying that, not me. I don't objectify women in that way. Where is she? Over here? I don't. That's not what I'm going to do. Believe me. I can do all kinds of things to this over here. I'm not going to do it. It's not the way I'm going to do things. If anything, I'm going to hang out with Embry over here. Hey, Embry. How you doing? I'm going to poke you in the eye. Gah! All right, now we got Seth Green, who's wearing some kick-ass goggles. I've never worn goggles in day-to-day life, but I could see how people might try to bring it in as a thing. Let me see if I can take a quick screenshot and show you the goggles here. Oh, I don't think Amazon lets me screenshot stuff. Yeah, they don't. They get all mad when I try to screenshot movies, so I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'll have to pull up still images next time. But yeah, anyway, he's got these like big yellow goggles that almost look like a giant Casio wristwatch. Like, because they make those big yellow like shock absorber ones, or they did in the 90s. It looks like two of those that are clear on the inside, like Horace Grant kind of stuff. Oh, Punky Brewster, eh? Punky Brewster was on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. What's that girl's name? Soleil Moonfry? They all party together? I have not watched enough of those documentaries that I should about Soleil Moonfry. All right, there's Charlie Corso again. He's trying to get some beer. Okay, so yeah, Nerd goes over to the keg. They hand him a beer. He takes a sip of the beer. He's going to spit it out. This is an outstanding spit take. I'm sorry. Sorry to laugh into the mic. The beer has gone bad. Definitely, again, because I saw this when I was 13. I distinctly remember seeing Can't Hardly Wait in theaters. I was 13 years old that summer. I probably just turned 13. Definitely went with a girl. So it was, a little 8th grade date or whatever. The beer has gone bad is a line that has stuck with me forever. That cracks me up. All right, so Seth Green's motivation through the movie is just to hook up with anyone. I forget about that. So yeah, he's got a backpack full of like condoms and love candles, maybe a vibrator and some lube and stuff like that. It's a very like super bad kind of a storyline there. Let's just keep that up on the screen for a while. JLH jugs are legendary. Again, that's Brian Scott from Dallas, Texas. Zip code 75238. His phone number is 214-496-1500. If you want to get a hold of Brian Scott there, he's the one objectifying. Hey, Anthony, I can't help it, all right? There's these lights in my face. They tell me I have to light myself. It's impossible for me to keep my eyes open with lights around. I'm used to being in the dark at all times. So I'm going to keep JLH jugs up there. But yes, Anthony, I'm more buzzed off like margaritas. I'm always a little bit baked on something, so that's fine. Like I said, don't worry about that, Anthony. The squinting, I think, is more caused by these damn lights. Like, you got to get a ring light. You got to go on camera. I'm not even in 1080p right now. I refuse. I'm like, I will go 720. I don't think people need to see me in 1080p. 2 months ago, this was all just my voice somewhere. We don't need to see all this. This is not built for radio. Exactly. That's right. I'm well lit. That's all it is here. I'm just well lit. Do you regular margarita or flavored margaritas? So, Gloria's, if I got flavored, I think they charge me like $1 more. So I just get the basic house frozen. And if I, you mean the 1080p, that's the thing. I'll pay the extra $10 and go 1080p someday. But I've checked myself out. I'm like, I don't think my teeth are ready for 1080p. I don't think I've plucked my, like, in between my eyebrows enough for 1080p. I think that's a whole thing. I don't ever know what to do in between there. I'm lucky I don't have to be on camera all the time. I'm forced to do it here because I guess YouTube is a distribution channel. Anyway, back to the margaritas. So no, if you get the on the rocks, I feel like the bartenders are shorting me at Gloria's. It's just the way I feel. But the Frozens, I think they make a giant batch of them in the morning, and whoever wants to drink them at the Gloria's near me loves to get buzzed, because it doesn't take too many of these things, is what I'll say. So I don't get the on the rocks anymore. The flavored ones are badass from Gloria's. I forget which ones they have. I think they got a peach, a watermelon, and then some kind of weird sangria swirl thing. Where's Anthony? You're my guy, Anthony. Thanks for hanging out, dude. And yes, I can't help it. That's just the way my face looks. Okay, so now we're in a scene in Can't Hardly Wait here where JLH, Jennifer Love Huge Ambitions, is getting approached by a guy who I always thought looked like Tony Danza. Solid middle part, though. And you'll notice I still rock a middle part. It's hard to let go of. My hair still naturally does it. I've gone side part over the years. I'll probably have to go side part again if I keep being on camera, unfortunately. But middle part, Tony Danza look, outstanding. And middle part's just what happens when I run my fingers through my hair. So I guess I just kind of got used to running my hands through my hair. And so it just goes middle part. I don't go to the side. I don't do a side swoosh all the time. Anyway, so this Tony Danza dude who was hitting on Jennifer Love Hewitt, I think it turns out to be like her cousin or something like that. And that's tough. If you've got a non-blood cousin who has a huge rack, what are you going to do? I mean, she just got dumped. It's a non-blood cousin, I believe is what he indicates here. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt. That marriage that even connects you all could be done in 3 years. What about that? So what if those people get divorced? What if you're like, oh, hey, my uncle married this chick who already had a kid? And so it's like a step cousin thing. So I think this guy might be in the right. I think if Jennifer Love Hewitt's there again, I'll have to look at the relationship. If it's blood, then of course he's in the wrong. If it's just a marriage one and it's Jennifer Love Hewitt, shoot your shot. All right, so now we see Mike Dexter, Jennifer Love Hewitt's ex-boyfriend, going around asking his cronies why they haven't broken up with their girlfriends yet. Tough time in high school. What about y'all? You tell me in the comments there. Did you have a steady gal in high school? I had a steady gal through most of high school. It's fine. But the high school breakup, always a ton of fun to witness when it was one of the big heavy hitter relationships there. Because those people went off the deep end. Like the people that were just bouncing around to different people every 2 weeks, you knew who they were. That's awesome. They're the same in the adult world. But when a heavy hitter falls, outstanding. Now when it happens in the real world, it's like marriage and divorce and kids are involved, and so it's just not as fun. It was more fun when there were no stakes. it was very low stakes, under 24. Like 24 and below, it's pretty low stakes. All right, Lauren Ambrose, Denise Fleming. Like I said, she's playing like a rather frumpy 90s character who potentially can't get a dude. She might be putting off vibes that say she doesn't want a dude. But she's the kind you kind of want to approach. I'm sorry, I'm watching an interaction here. We've got... Oh, okay. So that's what happens. Yeah, so some other girl comes over and sits next to old Denise Fleming on the couch and asks, hey, aren't you in my language lab? And she's like, oh, yeah. So she thinks she's making a friend. But no, then that girl just jumps up, and apparently she had won a bet with some other people. Says, see, I told you she went to our school. All right, so now one of the best side stories of this particular film is the band that is playing their first show. And it is at a house party. And I guess they've got T-shirts that say Love Burger. You've got Breckenmeyer. You've got Donald Faison. You've got a guy named Johnny Zander who plays the guitar player. Johnny Zander was in Coyote Ugly. Oh, what a terrible film, Coyote Ugly. I definitely thought there was going to be way more nudity. I'll be frank. I thought Coyote Ugly was going to have a lot more nudity in it than it did. And it was just a lot of girls dancing on bars and then maybe some dramatic storyline about one of them and their dad. I have not watched Coyote Ugly probably since the year 2000, 2001. Does it hold up? Let's take a look at Coyote Ugly's Rotten Tomato score here. Coyote Ugly, Rotten Tomatoes. Let's take a look. How do critics feel about Coyote Ugly? Ooh, a 23% on the tomato meter. Time and critics have not been good to Coyote Ugly. Okay. Oh, this is badass. Okay, so some girl is breaking up with her boyfriend or has just gotten into something with her boyfriend. And she says, I am going to hook up with somebody at this party. The next guy that talks to me, I'm going to hook up with him at this party. Yeah, I thought the Coyote Ugly bar would have been more crazy, right? It almost looked like, as I recall, it was like synchronized swimming, but for bartending. It seemed like it was more like a line dancing, like Wranglers movie, but on top of a bar. And then people poured some shots for each other or something. Okay, so Seth Green overheard this woman saying that she was going to hook up with the next guy who talks to her. So he gets down on one knee, calls himself Special K. Oh, and she asked him to come to the pool house. Hell yeah, it's on. Anything for you, baby. And Seth Green's selling it. Again, his costuming is fun. But he's doing a good job of not being... Again, Jamie Kennedy in Malibu's Most Wanted would have made this character a little too absurd. You can see the heart. Seth Green kind of does find the heart in the character almost a little bit, where he's so solely motivated by hooking up, and he's opportunistic, sure, but he's still trying to go freshen up first, where he's like, all right, I got to go freshen up before I hook up with this girl or something like that. So he's waiting in line for a bathroom now, and he sees several women walk in there. All right, back to this comment. When I was in high school, Coyote Ugly was the go-to mom movie. Couldn't go to a friend's house without their mom's wine in hand watching that. See, that makes sense. It probably was a mom movie, and I had no idea it was supposed to be a mom movie. I thought it was going to be like a strip club movie where I was like, hell yes, it's like From Dusk Till Dawn. What the hell's going on in Coyote Ugly here? And it was nothing like that. It's a total letdown. 23%. Let's read some of the bad reviews here. The acting was terrible. Sometimes the actresses couldn't even act like they were friends. Okay. It could be argued that the constant stream of self-mocking touches makes for a less manipulative experience, though it's doubtful whether anyone familiar with producer Bruckheimer's record would consider him a misunderstood satirist. Well, that just seems mean-spirited more than anything. I don't mind Bruckheimer taking a shot. If you want to take a shot on a sexy bartender movie, okay. Hold on, we go back to Seth Green. Seth Green has gone up to the bathroom. He is now reading a miniature Kama Sutra book. He is pounding Tic Tacs. He is stretching out. He's got one leg up. Okay, now he's stretching out across. He's almost doing the splits across from the bathroom, like countertop, like the vanity here. He's reached from the vanity over to the bathtub. He's full splits. Oh, now he's just dropped it. And yeah, he is in those big fat Jinko jorts that we were talking about a little bit earlier today on Honey, I Shrunk the News. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Honey, I Shrunk the News, Honey's got the night off, so Honey's not with me today. It's just me. But Honey would love if you checked out that show. I said he's gonna be whipping me into shape. I did the side part earlier. I'm gonna do the suit. We're gonna get some more graphics on there. We're gonna fix the audio. Like I said, I think my audio has been a little bit weird. Where's my? Hopefully some of the sounders are getting a little bit better. We're going to get the audio dialed in there and stuff like that. But yeah, if you haven't heard Honey, I Shrunk the News.
Seems like you don't have a clue, so honey, I shrunk the news.
Yeah, we shrink it.
You look like you got too much to do, so honey, I shrunk.
What?
Honey, I shrunk.
That's right.
Honey, I shrunk the news.
Yeah, so me and Honey's my partner. He's the one who sends me all the stories, and he's the one who gets me locked in, basically. So Honey sends me stuff, and we'll try to shrink the news. My first one was 30 minutes, and that's bad. That's more like Honey, I blew up the news. Trying to get these things down to like 15 or 20. We can fire through some stories. Really dial into what makes the stories work. Because I'm probably going to cut out a lot of the fat. You might not get a lot of sports in there. I'm going to be honest with you. It might not be a sports-heavy thing, me shrinking the news. Politics, it's probably not going to be in there. Again, I'm shrinking the news. Honey told me. He said, Honey. Or I said, Honey, I shrunk the news. And he said, how much? And I said, well, I got rid of sports and politics. He says, you might need to get rid of more. So it might be 3 to 4 stories. We'll try to do it as frequently as we can. Usually around 1 p.m. in the afternoons, typically when I'm the freest, and right after KT wraps up. And if you're not following KT, and you probably are if you're watching me, but if you're not, go follow at KT Fun Tweets. Subscribe to him. All right, so now we go back to Charlie Corsmo, William Lichter, who is now the party king. He's drinking. He's having the time of his life. So he had his one beer and he spit it out, but then he started going hard, and I think now he's the king of the party. Jason Segel was not shy of the full frontal. Did he go full frontal in this one? I forget, because he's definitely in the band, right? I said, I think he's just a random band guy. I might have missed him in that band scene. I apologize if I scrubbed over it there super quick. If he hung dong in this film, please let me know. I need to know every film where Segel hangs dong. I think he did it in Sarah Marshall. Give it to me.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No.
Oh, Tavares.
Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it. I missed it. I missed the full frontal. He might not have even been in the band. I might be missing it up. Oh, and the Muppets. He went full frontal on the Muppets? Hell yeah. I'm glad you brought up the Muppets. I meant to talk about that. I absolutely adore that Muppets film. I have not revisited it probably in 6 or 7 years, but I saw it in theaters the weekend it came out. Watched it again a bunch when my kids were super little. I absolutely love that movie. It's like many other Muppet movies where it's all about putting on a show. I love the maniacal laugh stuff. I love the corporate overlords. I gotta revisit it because I feel like Jason Segel just did some amazing work in that. It again, like most Muppet films, it operated as a wonderful musical that didn't feel overbearing. You got to see a whole production putting together the show. It ends in that whistle climax that is just extremely uplifting. So I do absolutely love the Muppets. Great poll there. If you were with us last night, I think it was last night. When did we talk about the Muppet Christmas Carol? Either way, we talked about the Muppet Christmas Carol recently. By far, Michael Caine's finest role, in my opinion. I know he's been in a lot of stuff, but to me, he is Ebenezer Scrooge. All right, so I'm sorry. Hold on. We're back to Amanda, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and her cousin, the Tony Danza lookalike guy. Apparently, this is somebody playing Cousin Ron. The actor's name is Eric Palladino, who was in Suits and U571. I bailed out on Suits after pretty early. I don't even know that I made it to season 2 of Suits. Suits didn't do much for me. I'm sorry, Jennifer Love Hewitt's really pulling back. So she's really out acting that guy. That is the other thing. There's a lot of young actors that definitely pop. Like Ethan Embry's been around at this point. He's breaking the fourth wall again and talking to the camera. I don't know about you, but I really believe that there's one person out there for everybody. No, this is terrible. I can't. Okay, so that's right. He's got this letter. So he wrote Jennifer Love Hewitt, Amanda Beckett, this letter, and it says it tells her how his heart stops every time he sees her, and it's all in there, which is probably one of the creepier things that you could do is write a letter to somebody about how much you love them when they've never really even talked to you or seen you or know who you are. But it's a bold move. Bold move. That's all I'm going to say. So he's going for it. So Ethan Embry's got this letter. It appeared that he was breaking the fourth wall. I guess now I think they've spun to the side here to where he's no longer speaking directly to camera. So there's got to be some reveal. Oh, that's right. He's got to be talking to the foreign exchange student. Duh. It hasn't revealed it yet, but that has to be it. Anytime you see somebody just throwing out a giant monologue, revealing all their feelings, it's a great exposition dump here. And then the person on the other side of it has no idea what they're talking about. So what's going to be the response line from this guy? We still haven't revealed him. Come on. Okay, come on. Just do your dumb exposition dump. I think I'm ready to do this. So we're just trying to set in motion the third act here is what it looks like. Because what's our time at right now? Geez, we're only 40 minutes in. Okay, maybe not the third act. My God. Like mid-second. He's got to do this. Okay, that's right. Let's get into this because this is a weird one. All-in-one-day movies. This one almost qualifies as an all-in-one-day movie. Dazed and Confused, probably my favorite that comes to mind. Superbad also doesn't qualify because it's very similar to this. I'm going to look up if there's a good list in it of these things because I'll probably forget one. The best films to take place all in 24 crazy hours. So yeah, all the like Before Sunrise, Before Sunset for sure. That's great stuff. Who else we got? I'm trying to think. That's the thing. Dazed is the first one that comes to mind. Superbad, there's a scene in the mall the next day. And I'm trying to think more modern. Clue? All right, that's one I wouldn't have pulled out. Clue from 1985, so all in one night. That's true. That's a good one. Okay, so yeah, 6 blackmail victims are invited to an isolated mansion. All right, yeah. Dazed and Confused from 1993. Before Sunrise from 1995. Richard Linklater. Which, drop in the comments if any of y'all watched the, Friday. Damn good call. Friday's a perfect all-in-one-day movie. I bet that's on this list if we keep scrolling. Collateral on there. No, it didn't make the list because it's going in order. Friday should have been on there. Friday's a perfect one. Running Scared, Collateral. Again, like I said, so many of these. it feels like they're missing some good ones. Because, yeah, Friday's a really, really solid example of one. I mean, it's in the name. It's one damn day. So, yeah, that's a great example. Okay, Cousin Ron just went for the kiss right when Ethan Embry was about to go approach Jennifer Love Hewitt here. Oh, this is the end. Great example there. Yeah, like any party movie. That's the thing. These party movies, which, by the way, that's kind of the reason we'll get into that a little bit. You were practically begging me for it. Ron, you can't say that to ladies. It's 2024, even though it was 1998. You can't say you were practically begging me for it. And now he's mortified. You're not going to tell my parents about this, are you? What was I going to say there? So, yeah, all in one day movies. This is the end. So that's one reason that this movie got green-lighted or greenlit. I never know. I think I always say green-lighted because I've heard other people say that, but green-lit seems perfectly fine to me as well. Is that it was cheap as shit to film. If you can do an all-in-one-day movie and there's a big party sequence, you can knock out a lot of your coverage at one point in time. So I think this is only a 26-day shoot, if I'm not mistaken here. Yeah. Principal photography for Can't Hardly Wait started in October 97 and ran for only 26 days. So that's a great shoot. I think because you've got one location. There's very few locations. It's just setting up. You're probably shooting at night most of the time for anything exterior. Anything interior you can do anytime. But cast only had a week of rehearsals before filming. Or not only. That's more than enough time. Apparently the film initially received an R rating due to the objections of teens drinking. Apparently you can't show teens drinking, I guess, at an unsupervised party and drug use. I haven't seen a lot of drug use in here so far. But the film was recut to receive a PG-13 rating. What a rip. I want to see the unrated R cut of Can't Hardly Wait where it's just Jennifer Love Hewitt doing a striptease for an hour and a half. I don't think that exists. All right, so we go to these nerds. So there are some cool nerd characters that are like playing backup to William Fichtner. Sorry, not William Fichtner. Charlie Corso. What's his character's name? Charlie Corsmo. William Lichter, not William Fichtner. I'm sorry. Okay, back to the film. Ethan Embry, who's playing Preston, he has left the party. We get Sabrina the Teenage Witch digging through the trash for her yearbook that she's lost. But let me take a second to talk about Ethan Embry's delightful role in That Thing You Do. So That Thing You Do was Tom Hanks's, I believe, directorial debut, at least from a film perspective. He definitely wrote the script for it, wrote the screenplay. The person who wrote the song was Adam Schlesinger, the guy who's now dead, from Fountains of Wayne. It's a beautiful track. But That Thing You Do, sorry, so there's a kegs like montage. So the letter that Ethan Embry wrote is now getting flung around the party. It got spun underneath a keg. It got kicked over to a record player. And now it's gotten thrown into a snack basket of like trail mix where Jennifer Love Hewitt is sitting. All right. And so it's a cosmic montage where, you know, it's just kismet. This letter is going to find its way over to Jennifer Love Hewitt because it's a movie and why not? Also, by the way, what's going on here in another storyline is that Seth Green is now locked in the bathroom with the character playing Denise, so Lauren Ambrose, and they are arguing with each other. Apparently, they've known each other since kindergarten. Always weird. You hear KT talk about that a little bit, being from a small town. I moved schools a lot, so there wasn't anybody I was ever, like, super connected with, and I take that back. I don't mean a lot. I went to public school for 2 years, or 3 years, I guess, kindergarten, first, second, and then my parents were like, oh, public school's too lowbrow or something. So they sent me to private school, and so I went to Catholic school for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then the Catholic school goes till 8th grade. But I was a little shit, and I did not get along very well with nuns. Me and nuns tend to clash a little bit. So I got kicked out of Catholic school after 6th grade. So then I went back to public schools and then went to another school after that. So I never like had anybody I had been through the full system with since kindergarten and like watched them go through all their most terrible times or anything like that. But Denise and Seth Green character, Seth Green portraying Kenny Fisher is the character's name, they have seen each other's darkest times, I guess. But they're locked in the bathroom now, and this is when Kenny was supposed to be hooking up with a hottie. She was going to hook up with anybody at the party, so you know it's true love. She was going to hook up with the first guy who talked to her, and Kenny just happened to be that guy. All right, now we go back to Ethan Embry over here, who has, again, left the party. He's now sitting out by a high school, I think, on the hood of his car. Did you guys ever sit on the hood of your car? I feel like I tried to do it one time on my Honda Accord in 2001. I think I just dented the hood. Like, it looks cool in movies on old cars. I don't think you can really do it. I mean, or if you can, I don't think it's a good idea. I think I did it and I messed it up, and I'm not a heavy guy. I mean, I couldn't have been more than $150 back then, especially. Maybe $142, high school. All right, so now we get Ethan Embry on a payphone. Payphones, man. Those had to be dirty, right? Like, I remember talking on some payphones back in the day because you would pull the thing at the movie theaters or anywhere you were where you would do the 1-800-CALL-ATT or 1-800-COLLECT. Like, hey, Mom and Dad, it's Steve. Come pick me up at the movie theater. You know, and they'd already dropped you off a couple hours ago, so this is the way you would get a free phone call. You didn't have to have one of those BS calling cards. Your parents didn't have to give you 50 cents or some crap. Or, even if they did give you money for it, you could burn all that money on something else and then do the collect call. And it was great, because if they don't accept the call and you just scream what your message is, win-win. Everybody wins except 1-800-COLLECT. I remember Mr. T did a lot of 1-800-COLLECT commercials. Okay, sorry, we have just had Jennifer Love Hewitt. Again, looking outstanding. I'm not going to lie. She looks great. A very, very lovely woman, that Jennifer Love Hewitt. She has read the letter. She is not repulsed in the way I thought she might be. I think I might be a little weirded out if I found a love letter about me from somebody that I'd never met. Oh, shit, we get Jenna Elfman. That's right. Okay, so Jenna Elfman comes up and portrays the angel. Jenna Elfman is MF and Dharma. All right? Dharma and Greg's no joke. Dharma and Greg's what teaches you that a rando, hippie, pot-smoking weirdo lady with hippie parents can marry an uptight, stiff lawyer, and it'll all work out. So we get Jenna Elfman portraying a stripper angel in this particular section of the film here. After Ethan Embry is trying to call into a radio station, I think, to request Mandy. Or no, I think he's trying to talk to Barry Manilow. For some reason, Barry Manilow is in studio. Badass. I wish I had clocked that more. So for some reason, on a Friday night, late May, early June, Barry Manilow is in studio taking calls. And Ethan Embry is going to try to get through, talk to the producer and get through there. Doesn't go well for him. No, it seems like Jenna Elfman, stripper angel, has to come through. And again, it's got to be late because she's getting off her shift as a stripper. If you're a primetime stripper, it can't be before 2 a.m. But the party's still going. Yeah, so this is where we've got some logical inconsistencies here. It seems like it's dead. It seems like it's late at night. It seems like there's nobody else around. So this would indicate that it's like 2:30 in the morning. There's no way in hell Barry Manilow's live taking calls. Either way, even if he was just requesting a call-in, nobody's taking call-ins at 2:30 a.m. If they are, badass. 90s were kick-ass. Okay, no, it's 2 a.m. She even explicitly says it is 2 a.m. So I'll have to back up at another point. If Barry Manilow was in studio taking calls at 2 a.m., that's ridiculous. If he was just calling into a request line, badass. Good for that DJ taking requests at 2 a.m. What a badass. Somebody's got to do overnights, I guess. Jenna Elfman smoking. Smoking looked cool in the 90s. I definitely started smoking just because it looked cool and because the kind of chicks that smoked, typically pretty cool. So you could go outside, talk to those ladies. It was a good time. I think the lamest thing I ever did was switching from Marlboros to like American Naturals or Natural Spirit. I don't even remember the names of them anymore. Um, American Spirit, that's it. Whatever one had a brown filter. Like I knew I didn't want to do Camel with a brown filter, but I had to do something with a brown filter because I thought it looked cooler than doing the all white Virginia Slims or the Marlboros, whatever they call. Were they just lights? I don't know. Reds were too rough for me. I couldn't do reds. I'm not a rancher. All right, so then we got Jennifer Love Hewitt here. She's now asking around, trying to figure out who Preston Myers is, because she's got this note from this dude. The dude definitely is in love with her. He's read all that, or she's read all that crap. And then she comes up against somebody named Earth Girl, is the character name, portrayed by Sarah Rue. She looks very familiar, as if she's been doing other stuff, but she's known for Pearl Harbor, Can't Hardly Wait, and My Future Boyfriend. Benson and Hedges, now we're talking about. Were Benson and Hedges menthols? Some of the freakiest chicks like menthols. Those girls were wild, man. The girls that would give you a menthol, you're like, oh, okay. And that's just what they smoked all the time. You're like, all right, cool, man. I'm into that. Camel Red Lights. I think I did Turkish Gold when I was like 15, 16. I stopped smoking cigarettes at like 18, or I take it back, maybe like 19 or 20 or something like that. And then I just started smoking herb a lot. So I feel like Camel Turkish Gold, Camel Red Lights, Benson and Hedges. I remember the first time I tried to think I was real cool, and I was like, give me the Lucky Strikes, unfiltered. And that was the biggest mistake I've ever made of my life. Smoking even one drag off an unfiltered Lucky Strike definitely made me want to barf. When's the first stoner movie watch party? What stoner movie you want to do? Is Dazed a stoner movie? Because that's probably the best made one. I'm trying to think of good ones. I mean, Half Baked, Pineapple Express, all stoner movies to a degree. Any of the Cheech films are fine. I do think The Dazed is probably the best made just because it's Linklater. It's shot in Texas. It's got great actors. It was shot at a great time. Or sorry, it does not have great actors. It's got good casting for who the actors need to be. There's a lot of very poor acting in Dazed and Confused, but they seem like high school kids or they seem like idiot locals, so it works. But we'll do those soon. Like I said, I kind of never know when I'm going to do the watch parties. Typically, it's just when does the night kind of work out for itself? When is there not a Mavs game or something else going on, obviously? So I don't know. Maybe Saturday night. Maybe I'll do a Dazed and Confused Saturday night. I'm also kind of trying to lock up with these anniversaries. These are fun, especially during the summer blockbuster season. So when I saw Can't Hardly Wait came out a few days ago, I was like, oh, shit, yeah. It came out yesterday. I was like, well, of course, everybody celebrates the 26th year anniversary of Can't Hardly Wait, the 1998 film classic on our movie show here. And again, if you're just, Dazed is, but I love Pineapple Express the most. I found myself quoting it the most. Hell yeah. Pineapple Express is outstanding. It's got Gary Cole, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. He's outstanding. So I'm all in. Well, there may be no more Mavericks games after tomorrow. I'll do Top Gun Maverick then next week. I'll keep the Maverick spirit alive with James Garner's Maverick and Top Gun Maverick starring Tom Cruise. No offense, Jenna Elfman is kind of working this angel outfit. She's essentially got like a Princess Leia gold. I'm sorry, I just cupped my boob there. A Princess Leia gold bikini underneath there. Or underneath like a toga robe. Good look. Good look for Jen Elfman. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so Preston is now driving back to the party. I guess he had an inspirational talk with Jenna the Angel. We cut back to the band. Love Burger has not played yet. Donald Faison, known from Scrubs. He's Turk in Scrubs. And he's also the boyfriend in Clueless. Great actor. I love his dynamic with Zach Braff. Let me get some other guys here in Love Burger. Oh, Jeff Goldblum's in there? And that Jeff Goldblum quote got taken down like 2 or 3 shows ago. Yeah, I'll have to check out the Goldblum stuff again. I got to watch Pineapple Express again. I might have been too stoned the first few times I watched Pineapple Express. And anything after like 2004, it's tough for me to rewatch, I feel like. Like, I catch everything one time, maybe 2 if it re-airs. So that'll also be the fun of it, is rewatching some of that stuff like Pineapple Express, where like I definitely caught it once. Maybe I watched it a second time on DVD, but I don't have it as a quotable. So I need to rewatch it so I have more Pineapple Express quotes. I certainly remember the cross joint. That's a big deal. Certainly remember the process serving, all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of quotable lines I don't remember, and I'm sure there's more quotes that I'm just blanking on. All right, now we are at the Paradise City scene. So the kid from Hook and What About Bob, he is now going ape and doing Paradise City here. He's just basically doing karaoke. And then who's this other dude? Who's the big redheaded dude? He's not Shermanator. He portrays Stoner Guy? Or who is this? Is this Brian Klugman? Oh no, Steve Monroe as the headbanger. Hell yeah. From Miss Congeniality. I was like, I know this dude. So yes, he's the so this headbanger in this scene here, he's like a redheaded dude. He's kind of a bigger, like stronger kind of looking dude. He plays the dumb son in Miss Congeniality, which, man, now that I think about it, that might be Michael Caine's second finest role. Behind Muppet Christmas Carol, Miss Congeniality is pretty damn solid. All right, Charlie Korsmo is now standing on tables. Ladies are going wild as he karaoke's Paradise City. It's clearly after 2 a.m. We've already established that. Jenna Elfman established we're after 2 a.m. in the movie here. All right, now Korsmo's going to do a stage dive into the audience here. Badass maneuver. I can't say I've ever done a stage dive. Seems terrifying. Oh, Melissa Joan Hart wants him to sign the yearbook. She had no interest in it before. I think he was valedictorian, so odd that she had no interest in getting the valedictorian's yearbook autograph. All right, we cut back outside to the nerds. So that's another thing. We have not established yet that there is a plot where Charlie Korsmo, William Lichter here, this nerd, is inside trying to infiltrate the party so that he can get Mike Dexter out back, and so they can, like, him and his nerd buddies can jump on him and I think like chloroform him or something. I can't remember exactly what they're going to do. All right, two hotties. Oh, it's like a reverse challenger situation on scene right now with Charlie Korsmo. Badass. Isn't that amazing? Back in 1998, all you had to do was karaoke some Paradise City and 2 ladies would take their tops off for you. It really was an easier time. Before dating apps, before women got self-esteem, it seems like it was a great time for dudes in the 90s. Sorry, it's not the way it works anymore. All right, so now Seth Green, we cut back. There are a lot of storylines going on now. I'm paying attention to it. So we got the nerds in one area. We got Seth Green and Denise in the bathroom here. He's having to use the restroom. We got Ethan Embry. He was off hanging out with Jenna Elfman, so that's 3 stories there. We got Jennifer Love Hewitt walking around trying to figure out what's going on with that letter, asking who Preston is. We got one nerd doing Paradise City, like I said, other nerds outside. So yeah, lots of concurrent storylines going on. It's a tough movie to keep track of, but editing pretty damn solid. Which, by the way, let's talk about that a little bit. Not the editing, but Can't Hardly Wait, like I said, released on June 12th, 1998. Grossed $8 million in its opening weekend, or a little over $8 million. Ended up grossing about $25 million in total on a $10 million budget. $10 million, not a ton of money. So, $10 million to make 25, that's fine. I wish there were more movies like this that could get made for $10 million. A $10 million micro budget that would make $25 million in theaters. And I know $10 million doesn't seem like a micro. It's technically still a big budget at that point, but compared to most movies, $10 million is pretty low. So that now, based on inflation, this is probably like a $30 million movie at a minimum. And there's no way in hell a movie like this makes 100 plus at the box office. So that's why it's tough to get these things in theaters anymore. All right, but we are in a romantic scene here. Denise and Kenny, Seth Green and Lauren Ambrose. Again, they're both good actors. That's the thing that works about their storyline, is it is just the two of them. Seth Green's a decent actor. Without that, they'd really have nothing. Okay. Oh, snap! So Charlie Korsmo, the nerd, just went into a closet. He was getting dragged into the closet by two women, and a third woman jumped in out of nowhere to go, I guess, double team this nerd? Holy hell. Pretty sure the script reads, Jennifer Love enters the room. Star, jugs visibly heaving. Again, Sports Cucks wrote that line. I would never objectify you, JLH. I would never do such a thing. But Sports Cucks here, he wrote that about you. I don't know if that was the script direction there. I don't know. I thought hurricane season was over. All right. So now we cut to the outside. We got Mike Dexter. Remember, Mike Dexter's going through his own character journey. Mike Dexter's the most popular guy in school. He dumped his girlfriend at the beginning of the day. He has been rejected outright by women all afternoon. Now he's out back at a party drinking, and he's talking to a college guy named Trip McNeil, Trip McNeely, played by Jerry O'Connell himself, who hooked up with Rebecca Romaine Stamos. Maybe she wasn't even a Stamos then. But he apparently was the most popular guy last year. And he comes back and says, hey, man, you think being popular in high school is cool? Well, guess what? In college, it effing sucks, man, because you can't pull tail when you're a freshman. All these girls that are 18, 19 freshmen in college, they just want dudes that are pre-med, is what he's telling them. He's like, they just want guys that are seniors and are pre-med. Guys like us, we're a dime a dozen. So he's basically getting them. Sorry, my mic cut out there. He's basically getting Mike Dexter prepared that, hey, if you don't have a girlfriend going to college, it ain't going to work out because you're not going to get a new one. I will tell him that it's going to be even worse if you try to carry that same girlfriend into college, because she's still going to probably go find some pre-med dude, or at least go experiment and have some fun that probably doesn't involve Mike Dexter. So likely best for both of them that they just part ways and go do their own things at this point. The other advice Trip McNeely gives him is bring rubber flip-flops into the shower because he got warts on his feet. Which reminds me of a gentleman I know named Kevin Turner, who does wear shower socks. I have not looked up shower socks. I kind of understand the premise, because feet are weird. The bathroom is gross. All right, Mike Dexter is in disarray. He's now going back. And if you're joining us, remember we are
watching a movie.
That's right, we are watching a movie. So shower socks, oh my God, the first thing that populates after shower socks is for elderly. So shower socks for the elderly, I think, is primarily what this is for. Anyway, shower socks do make sense to me. Like I said, the bathtub is, it's not even gross because of what's in there. It's a gross feeling. Porcelain is a gross feeling. So I do identify and sympathize with what Kevin Turner is putting out there into the universe about shower socks. Okay, shit, here's Jason Segel. So yeah, we got Stoner Guy on the left, and we got Jason Segel portraying Watermelon Guy right here. So this is where Amanda walks up to him and says, hey, do you know Preston? And Stoner Guy saying, you never got much play? Is Velma from Scooby-Doo. She was a hip chick. Man, Velma was a hip chick. And I'll tell you, if you know a woman who's juggy, like JLH, for example, any woman that's well-figured is what I would say, makes a great Velma at Halloween time. They can always pull off the Velma, because you got to have the hips that work, and you got to have the up-tops that work. You can be a petite Velma, for sure, But I'm just saying, Velma was a hip chick. I agree with Stoner Guy. All right, so Mike Dexter is now publicly trying to win back Jennifer Love Hewitt. Ooh, there's Jamie Presley. Outstanding in Joe Dirt, by the way. In Joe Dirt, she's like his fake sister thing, who he hooks up with at a carnival. That's got to be a weird vibe. And it's a fun time in Joe Dirt. But anytime you're portraying someone who is represented as potentially David Spade's sister who he's hooking up with, got to be a weird role to read for. And be like, yes, I'm going to accept that one. That's right, Jay. Bowls of that shit, man. George would come home at night. She'd just have bowls waiting for him. Martha was a hip lady, man. Yeah, that's the. I mean, Dazed is so damn good. Like, I don't even know that I could do Dazed justice. That's the problem with Dazed. I'm like, it's so good. Like, you could spend 3 hours on just the soundtrack for Dazed, even as like cliched and overdone as all of those songs are as needle drops in movies. It's effing perfect. Like, I don't care if it's Sweet Emotion or like, I don't care. It's perfect in Dazed and Confused. So we might do a bunch. I don't know that you'll have JLH. That's great. All right. You guys, sometimes I don't read the comments until I put them on the screen, and then at that point, I just have to accept that they're there. I would never do that to you, JLH. Miss Hewitt. Mrs. Hewitt? Is she married? Who is her husband going to kick our ass right now? J-Bomb, this one has total nostalgia stuff for me too. And I'm not watching it with a close eye, but there's so many good actors. It's such a fun nostalgia watch. Like, I don't even care that the actors are good. It's the same kind of thing as Dazed. Like, I don't expect them to be reading as if the stakes are extremely high. The stakes seem high to them because they would potentially be in high school, so they're portraying characters that are high school characters, so to them the stakes would feel high. But I don't care if the actors come off as vapid, which is kind of what happens in Dazed and Confused a lot of the times. Like, the main character, Wiley, whatever his last name is, he's a terrible actor in that film. He's just pinching his face all the time. His reads are really not that good and not that strong, but it works. So same thing here. I don't even care if the acting's bad. I love this movie from a nostalgia standpoint. Okay, so everybody's now taking their shot at Amanda. So now that Mike Dexter and Amanda have now officially broken up because Amanda rejected Mike Dexter publicly at this party, everybody's shooting their shot now. Now Preston runs down and says, Amanda, I love you. Okay, so yeah, she does not know he is Preston. So again, we've got Amanda, so this is just a classic misunderstanding. We've got two characters who are just, again, confused about what their motivations are and just misunderstood about who each other are. So Jennifer Love Hewitt is telling off Ethan Embry right now. I haven't even been single for like 5 minutes, and already you think I'm just going to strip off my clothes and do you? Right here? Because I don't know. So Ethan Embry's shocked. You imagine that we shared some intimate moment that you have been probably drooling over for the past 4 years. God, you know how sick and deluded are you? Which really does nail him. He is sick and deluded. You know what? Why don't you just go off and get yourself a goddamn life, asshole? Great read from Hewitt right there. A round of applause from the crowd. Oh, poor Ethan Embry. So anyway, yeah, Ethan Embry gets told off, even though he really shouldn't have. We get back to the nerd. I'll get to this question on screen here in just one moment. The nerd clearly just got laid by 2 chicks. Badass. Good for you, nerd. Good for you, Charlie Corsmo. You had to hang out with Dustin Hoffman for a bunch of the time in Hook, and you had to hang out with Richard Dreyfuss a bunch in What About Bob, so you deserve to get laid by 2 chicks and can't hardly wait. I think that was his repayment. They're like, hey, we know you had to put up with Dreyfuss. We know you had to put up with Hoffman. That had to be a pain in the ass. Why don't we do a movie where you kind of get to be the secret hero? So now Charlie's hanging out with Mike Dexter. He's trying to get him out to the pool house to engage in his original plan, I think, which is to chloroform him or something and take some photos of him. Okay. Sports cucks. Serious question, though. Who had the better high school coming-of-age movies, the 80s or 90s? This is tough because I do honestly think movie making, to a large degree, was more inventive in the 80s. I think the 90s, we were putting out retreads of things that were kind of invented from a storytelling and movie making standpoint in the 80s. So what I personally connect with more is 90s films, undoubtedly. But I think things like Breakfast Club, I think things like Ferris Bueller's, I think things like Say Anything and stuff like that, I think those are essentially the template for what a lot of 90s movies eventually became. But I think 80s kind of has it. And yeah, that's Anthony, same thing. What I connect with more, 90s, undoubtedly. As somebody who's trying to study film in a more technical way and look at it through a lens that is not totally centered around what did I love when I was 13 or what did I love when I was 12 to 16, which is what a lot of your favorite movies are. They just are, and that's fine. But as I get older, I'm like, okay, I can see where these movies are essentially redone versions of movies from the 80s or took examples from the 80s and then honed it and made it better. So, and then I think things just made such an impact in the 80s and they made an impact in the 90s too. Don't get me wrong. It made a huge impact because the monoculture was still there. 80s easily, and I'm a millennial. Thank you, Jay. I love that. Same thing. I was watching those things too. The 80s with the Breakfast Club. American Pie era for me. Great example of American Pie stuff. Okay, sorry. We've got Seth Green and Denise Fleming now making out. They're definitely going to bang in that bathroom. So like American Pie, a total throwback to like 80s comedies like Porky's, honestly, but like way scaled down versions of Porky's where there's going to be rocky or like a raucous sex romp or like again even plays on Animal House. A lot of that stuff's been going on from the 60s and 70s and 80s, but coming of age, it's got to be 80s. Like I said, they're all just so good. Say Anything's really good. Ferris Bueller's is really good. What do I rewatch more? I rewatch 90s all day long. I rewatch the 90s films more. I'd rewatch Can't Hardly Wait. I'd rewatch She's All That, an M. Night Shyamalan film, by the way. Like those films that I know were just garbage popcorn films or American Pie movies. Damn right, Daniel. Porky's is a movie from the 80s. It absolutely is. But like, no, American Pie was huge. So Rodeo MT52. American Pie was the first movie I remember I could not get into. Like, there were people at the theaters that were making sure kids my age, because that had to be, what, 99? American Pie's 99, I'm almost positive. So I was 14. American Pie, yeah, 99. So summer of when I was 14, basically, and just turned 14. So I'm going 13 to 14 in 1999. And yeah, they would not let me in. I eventually was able to, like, you know, buy a ticket to something else and then sneak over there like 2 months after. But for the first couple months, they were all over the outside of those theaters. The upcoming scene, Mike and Cosmo, is so comedically underrated. The line about plenty of women and trolling cars in the sea. Cosmo playing the gateway musical. Man, I'm right on that scene right there. Thank you. It's ancient history. It's ancient history. Man, I missed the piano cue there. Thank you. You don't comment much. P. Mott Fatak 07. Thank you. You seem to be actually somebody who's watching the film pretty damn closely there. I hate that I don't get to watch these first. If I had more time on my hands, I would watch them before I did the live commentary so that I could pick up on stuff like that a little bit more. But anyway, man, so Cosmo playing the getaway music on the piano. Sorry, I thought you were saying he was playing a specific piece of music, but I do recall now him playing the getaway music. Did everyone catch American Reunion? And comedically underrated. So yeah, everybody read that real quick. Is it Go back and watch that scene. I'll probably back it up to that moment. It looks like it was probably about 1:15 on the time clock there. Yeah, 1:15:09 is when that scene starts. Because I would love to see the comedy in that. Those are two great actors. Korsmo, a great kid actor. I wish he was doing more stuff. And I don't know who wrote this one. I'll have to go back and see who wrote it. Come up here. Hold on. We'll go look in a minute. Did everyone catch American Reunion? Actually, a solid movie. I think I saw American Reunion in theaters. Written by Deborah Capron and Harry Elfont. Oh, okay. Yeah, Harry Elfont. I know that cat. What else has Elfont done? American Reunion, I think I saw in theaters, but actually I might have seen American Wedding. What's the difference? Explain to me the difference. I know one has a wedding and one has a reunion, obviously. Because one has like Little John. There's like a big flamboyant gay dude, maybe Little John, who just steals the movie, as I recall. I forget what actor that is, but he's a not heavier set dude, but like a real bulky dude who does some dance scenes. And it was probably, I have not watched it in ages, so it may not age well at all. 99, the year I graduated, hell yeah. Did everyone catch American Union? Made it home from Panzo Skin has great regard for you, Steve, as do I. Keep the content coming. I appreciate that. I love Skin Wade to pieces. He's really one of my favorite humans. I love him so much. I try not to bother him. It's basically it. Oh God, Melissa Joan Hart's yearbook just went in the pool. That's devastating. I said everything about her character's motivation is just ripped out. That's a tragedy. Like, I know it's played for laughs right there, but that is a tragedy. Everything they set up about that character was how much she's essentially like emotionally connected to these memories. And they essentially are just like, your memories are total shit and trash, and this doesn't matter. So that's kind of a tragic ending to the Melissa Joan Hart storyline. Are Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and Juice considered coming-of-age movies? Yes, they are. I would say those are all movies I definitely need to revisit. Boys in the Hood I've watched more recently than Menace to Society and Juice, so I need to go back and watch those two. But yes, I would say all three of those. Yeah, exactly. As Escobar said, all three of those are great. Menace to Society, the best. I've watched that one more recently. Wedding was them getting married when Reunion was 10 years past high school. Shit, what happens? What are the other storylines of Reunion? Because everybody's clearly... All right, boil it down to this for me. What is Stifler doing in Reunion? Is Stifler a high school coach in Reunion, or has that already happened in Wedding? Maybe I didn't see Reunion. Damn, I don't know. I feel like I saw all of those. I take it back. There's like 20 of those if you count all the like American Pie Presents beta camp or something like that. I don't know. There's a million different stupid things that they have with American Pie. Naked Mile, I think, was one of them. I could go look them up, but I don't want to. All right, party's getting broken up. I think we just missed the getaway music from Korsmo on the piano there. We've got... Oh, who is this officer pulling up here? Rob Roy Fitzgerald. Rennie Santori from Dirty Harry, Cobra, Dr. Doolittle, and Bad Boys. Yeah, that cop's been in a bunch of stuff. And that scene was all played over Damn It by, he's a coach in American Wedding. Damn it. Man, I don't know that I have seen American Reunion. Let me go pull up the synopsis. I said, now I might have to go revisit that one. 2012. So I'd already had kids at that point. That's where it gets weird. Yeah, first year after having kids, it's tougher to get out and see films. I love this. American Reunion is an American ensemble sex comedy film. I do love a good sex comedy. Okay. Received mixed reviews. Yeah. 13 years after graduation. They've got a 2-year-old son. Oz works as a sportscaster. Kevin is married and works from home as an architect. Finch claims to have been traveling the world, and Stifler works as an office temp. I don't think I've seen American Reunion, actually. Stifler's an office temp? I'm trying to think. Man, I'm getting it conflated. I'm like, I remember Creed. I remember when the guy in Creed was working in an office. And they're like, what are you doing on the weekend, son? And he's just going down to Mexico and beating people's ass. Man, I don't remember. All right, so Stifler appears unexpectedly. Oz meets his high school girlfriend. Oh, so it's like an Oz gets back together? I don't think I've seen this one. I don't want to spoil it too much here. Okay. Hold on, I will spoil one part. In a mid-credit scene, Jim's dad gets, quote, fellatio from Stifler's mom in a movie theater. So we're learning a lot here. Apparently, Jim's dad and Stifler's mom engage in some hardcore action in a movie theater at the end of American Reunion. Okay. So the girl who's hosting the party has just figured out, because her party got busted. Party got busted out by the cops. Everybody ran. But Denise and Seth Green were still up in the Eugene Levy. Damn right, Eugene Levy's a badass. I don't ever know if it's Levy or Levy, but I'm going to call it Levy right now. Eugene Levy's so damn good. I think it's Levinstein. He probably shortened Levinstein. So Eugene Levy. He's so damn incredibly good. I love him in so much. All the best in show films, the Christopher Guest films. I mean, Waiting for Guffman, he's so good. He plays the dentist, stand-up comedy guy. He's so freaking good in that role. Again, best in show. He's briefly in This Is Spinal Tap. He's there for a tiny little bit, but I love him. I have not watched enough of Schitt's Creek. I hear that thing. I mean, it won a ton of awards, so I'm sure it's good. I have not watched near enough of that one though. Let's see. The neighbor girl Jim babysat as a child has a huge crush on him and comes on to him throughout the entire movie. Oh, man. SCTV, all right. Yeah, damn right. Eugene Levy, SCTV. Hell yeah. Eugene Levy's outstanding. So him and Catherine O'Hara together, especially and I believe she was an SCTV person as well. She was definitely a Chicago person. I said, but them two, even A Mighty Wind, I was trying to remember the other one. So when they're like the hippie, because he plays the weird hippie Mitch, I forget the Catherine O'Hara's name, but they've got some duo named Mitch and something, and she plays like a auto chord machine or something, I forget. But the harmonies are beautiful in that. They put these, God, what the hell's the name of this song in A Mighty Wind? Now I got to look it up, because it's a beautiful song. A Mighty Wind Mitch song. Okay. What are all the... Mitch and Mickey is what it is. All right. So let's see. Where's my Mitch and Mickey? All right. Go to Mitch. Mitch and Mickey form a couple. A Kiss at the End of the Rainbow. Damn right. Levy and Candy, hard to beat. Hell yeah. But A Kiss at the End of the Rainbow from A Mighty Wind, an absolutely lovely track that I'd have to go back. I have not watched those with commentary. I feel like I did years ago when I owned the DVDs. But I bet they talk about how they filmed that and if they actually were... Because I believe they did perform most of those things. Like, I don't think it was maybe the live capture. Like, I'm sure they went in the studio and sweetened some stuff. But I think they were playing and singing everything in A Mighty Wind for a lot of those tunes, especially the duos. When it's 25 people on stage, I don't know. But they're all competent enough musicians. So yeah, I adore Eugene Levy. All right, so back to American Reunion. Where is it? I had it up over here. No, not American Pie. I don't care about American Pie anymore. Oh, that's right. I didn't want to spoil stuff for me. I already spoiled the fellatio in the mid-credit scene, so I don't want to spoil anything else. Apparently, Jason Biggs and Sean William Scott were granted executive producer credits and also helped convince the other previous cast members to return for American Reunion. Because I think only Biggs, Sean William Scott, and Eugene Levy originally signed on to reprise their roles for Reunion there. Because I'm sure after 3, everybody else is like, come on, man. I can't keep doing this. Especially like Chris Klein and the Rookie of the Year kid. This is all they've got at this point. Like, because Chris Klein's one of the world's worst actors. And I don't mean that to be mean, because I think he's relatively local. Like, I know some people that are relatively close to Chris Klein. Like, I know he grew up in Fort Worth and hung out there for a while. I don't know if he lives here currently. All right, it's the next day now, sorry. But Chris Klein's a terrible actor. I'm sorry, Chris Klein. I love you. The Rookie of the Year kid, I feel like he should have been in a million things. He should have gone to acting school. He should have done more Thomas Ann Nickel. He was brilliant as Henry Rowan Gardner, damn it. He played incredibly off of Candy and Daniel Stern. He was amazing, Henry Rowan Gardner. He could have done anything. Then he had to go blow it. What's Thomas Ann Nickel's last thing? He made that stupid Kid in King Arthur's Court movie. And it might be actually good. I just don't like wizards, so I'm going to say it's stupid. Okay, apparently he's still working. He does some production stuff. I mean, he doesn't do a lot, though. I'm not going to lie. He does not do a lot. That's a bummer. Man, that stinks. Bummer for him. Does he do some TV at least? Let's go to TV. He's done a little bit of TV. Holy shit, 1998, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show. And he was in the episode, Honey, I'm in the Mood for Love. That sounds like a terrifying premise for a TV show for kids. About, honey, how I'm in the mood for love on my Shrunk the TV show. Chris Klein, essential meathead character. Damn right. He's so, like, that's the thing. He's perfect in Election. When you put him in things like Election, it's like you hear Skin mention on the Mark Wahlberg stuff. Chris Klein has no range. I think Chris Klein, I mean, maybe you could make him an action star. I don't know. Nobody would ever give him the shot. But I don't think you could make him an extremely expressive action star who has to deliver witty commentary as well as play very serious, dramatic parts that carry weight. I think he's just good as like a dumb jock, like somebody who seems empty inside and hollow. So he's perfect in that. Like I said, he's so good. Was he in We Were Soldiers? That's a military guy. That's like I don't know. And again, I don't want to judge him. I know he was in Rollerball. I've only seen Rollerball once. It did not work out well. I'll pull up the Chris Klein filmography real quick because I love him in Election. Don't get me wrong. I think he's perfect in Election. I think he's absolutely perfectly cast. All right, we're in the end scene here. Or we're pretty damn close to the last few minutes here. Denise and Ethan Embry are talking about what happened the night before. I'm sorry. Peace out, G. Sorry, I just talked over the whole last scene here about Chris Klein. There's Denise waving two hands in the air as Preston drives off. Okay, no, she got her yearbook back. Melissa Joan Hart went and fished her yearbook out of the pool, and she's hooking up with this other dude, or she's holding hands with this other dude who was there the whole time, talking about nobody understands the value of memory. So it was not a tragic ending. So this next day, we got some redemption here. Okay, so now we get Charlie Corsmo coming back in. William, he's going to go try to approach Mike Dexter. He's at the diner with his friends because Mike Dexter and Corsmo got taken to jail. Dexter basically covered for Charlie Corsmo and said, hey, this guy didn't do anything wrong here. So Corsmo gets let out of jail, old William Lichter, the nerd there, and Mike Dexter took the fall for him. But Corsmo tries to come hang out with him. Oh, man. And Mike Dexter won't let him have it. He says, why don't you go home and watch Star Trek, Urkel? And that sucks. Because that's certainly the... Okay, so then we get the Frozen stuff. William went to Harvard where he became one of the most popular students. He also formed a software company that's now valued at $40 million. He's currently dating a supermodel. So this movie does teach you some empathy for half a second, but then it's like, well, that guy used that. At college, Mike Dexter drank too much, lost his football scholarship. He's now 40 pounds overweight and fired from his job at the car wash after some incriminating Polaroids surfaced. By the way, I am one of the people who thinks every single movie should have this. I want to know what every character in every movie went on to do. But bummer for Charlie Corsmo. He just wanted some friends. He wanted to be well-liked, wanted to be popular there, so... That's a bummer for him. You at least you got that one night. You got that one big night. Okay, 5 minutes later, Denise dumped Kenny. So yeah, Denise and Kenny, not a real couple. Shermanator walks in here, steals the gumball machine. I always loved that gag because those things were never chained down. So I did always love that. Where you're like, you can just take those things. They're just sitting there. 10 minutes later, Denise and Kenny found a bathroom and hooked up again. Melissa Joan Hart was, okay, Robert. This is a family show for children. I think there's like dozens of children watching right now. I think I have to put on here that this is made specifically for young eyes. But you're right. I'm not going to deny what's on the screen right now. All right, so we continue going on here. I think they're at like a bus station or something. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Preston's either at a bus station or train station. Preston played by Ethan Embry. Jennifer Love Hewitt played by Amanda. No apologies necessary, Robert. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Is that I get all kinds of worked up over Melissa Joan Hart. I just hate that I missed my opportunity. That's what I hate. I really hate that I wasn't there. I could have taken my shot back in the early 2000s. God, I wish I was there to see that. Because I think she's settled down now. I don't think she's looking to party as much anymore. But there was a time. There was a time. Yeah, JLH too. That's the thing. I think in the 90s, I would have said JLH all day because I was such a heavy boob man. I think we were all conditioned to be boob people in the 90s. And then by probably about 2005, 2006, maybe even 02, 03, I was like, Melissa Joan Hart's kind of got it all going on, and she seems like she's really willing to be a fun time, is what I would say. Like, you do start to get the sense that the well-endowed JLH types, maybe a little stiff. You never know. I'll have to take John Mayer's word for it. All right, so we've got the final scene here. Or getting pretty damn close to it, I'm pretty sure. Well, you should go then. We got Amanda and Preston just talking back and forth. Maybe it's better this way. We don't hook up. Melissa did a show called Melissa and Joey. Funny time. Oh, she's very milfy and thick in it. Now that's good to know. I do remember Melissa and Joey. I need some more MJH in my life. I might be doing a Melissa Joan Hart deep dive after this. I'm not gonna lie. She's a special woman, that Melissa Joan Hart. All right, I'm trying to clock exactly how this ends here. Preston, good luck. Yeah, you too, to Amanda. Are they going to make out? No, there's a handshake. She was my top for sure. I know what you did last summer. Good Lord. Yeah, exactly. They get her all in the rain, and I know what you did last summer. They're like, can we make it raining? Well, Jennifer Love Hewitt sticks her heaving mammaries out, and I think that's what their entire marketing strategy was for I Know What You Did Last Summer. All right, so Preston's walking away. Again, they had the handshake. Preston wearing an incredible red jacket right now. I wish I had a kick-ass red jacket that looked like that because it's like a shacket. Oh, and he jumps over. He's got Converse and some kind of like baggy Heartbreakers with Sigourney Weaver was damn good. That was a good one, man. I got to go back and watch Heartbreakers. I love it. Gene Hackman in Heartbreakers, I think. Holy hell. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There we go. Sorry. I got to redo my cabling here in a little bit. Gene Hackman's in Heartbreakers, right? Heartbreakers. Sigourney Weaver, Jennifer Love Hewitt. There's Gene Hackman. Look at that beautiful son of a bitch over there. He's third billed. Sigourney Weaver, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Gene Hackman. F yes. Yeah, and if you were a 90s actress with a hyphenated last name, you were a smoke show. Amanda wrote him a letter for every day that he was away. They are still together. So I missed the front part of that setup. I'll back it up 10 seconds. I don't care. I'll back it up 20 seconds. All right, backing it up. Sorry if you're watching along. 7 hours later, Preston finally got on a train to Boston. Amanda wrote him a letter for every day that he was away. All right, so he was either going to college or going to do something there. And then, yeah, Matthew Sweet's farther down providing a nice musical bed during this train station scene. That's right. It is in the scene there. Again, and now we get Can't Hardly Wait by the Replacements over the credits scene here. Again, my volume's kind of low. Like, I can hear the volume a little bit, but I get captions mainly on my front screen. So, yes, thank you, P. Motifatak07. You're my badass commenter here. You actually know what's going on. So, yes, before most of these things, I'll try to watch them in advance and do more research, but it is kind of fun if I do it live. Oh, shit, mid-credit scene. Okay, so we got the other two nerds who are wearing, like, The Truth Is Out There and the X-Files shirts. I forget what the other one says. Trust no one, I believe. I think it's trust no one and the truth is out there. Yeah, this town is so lame. Tell me about it. Nothing exciting ever happens here. We've got these two dudes walking along the street. And now we see the shadow of what appears to be some form of UFO that beams them into a light. So that is how our movie ends, is that the two nerds who didn't get to go to the party, didn't get to do anything at all, they get beamed up. And then we get to the replacement song, Can't Hardly Wait. Lovely track. And then we get these cool, like, little photos. So they clearly, like, set up, like, a class photo station, you know, just like you would at high school, and got cast photos of everyone. So as the credits roll here, you do get kind of like these high school yearbook photos of all the cast. And it looks great. Scrolling through them right here, yeah. Selma Blair. That's right, I forgot Selma Blair was in there. There's a ton of people in here that just fly by and you don't clock. Preston went to a writing camp with Kirk Vonnegut at Dartmouth. Thank you. That's what it was. I was like, I knew he was going to do something. I was like, is he already going to college already? What was it? Kurt Vonnegut was still alive in the early 90s? Or late 90s? It's my bad. When did Kurt Vonnegut die? Yep. 07. Sorry. 07. Man, my bad. Yeah, so he was still around in 98. Man, my bad. Crazy. Learn something new every day. P. Modfatak. He's my cat here. The Replacements are one of my favorite 80s bands, and good track. Hell yes. Incredible track. All right, we're in. There's Jason Segel with a watermelon. Why he played Watermelon Boy, I don't know, but it's incredible. His cast photo is just him holding a giant watermelon. All right. Well, that's it. I'll take you out. Thanks for
Watching a movie.
and then we'll play the movie's intro one more time, because why not? Woo!
I'd like Sour Patch Kids.
Uh-huh.
And a jumbo dill pickle.
Yeah.
And some popcorn.
Aight.
A little butter, please.
All right. 28
Thank you.
Oh, and as the credits roll to Walking on the Sun, written by Steve Harwell there. Thank you, Smash Mouth. All right, cats. I'll jump on another time and do another one of these. Later. Thanks for hanging out.